Joe, we start off our game picks here. Look at there, as you mentioned earlier in the show. Yes. You have
We're
caught up.
tied.
You're tied with me. Both of us are 34-16 on the season. But let's start off with this week. Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Both of us are expecting the Ole Miss Rebels to bounce back here, Joe.
Yes. I brought this up when we did the preview. I really do believe that Lane Kiffin is the type of coach that is going to find ways to rally his team when their back's against the wall. They put bad performance, going to need to step up big time. He's going to put a ton more of attention to detail into the week of practice. And I also, I went back and watched the L22, that Ole Miss game, and I think they really, really, really completely got away from and overthought their game plan going against Kentucky. They threw the ball in the first 40 plays like 90% of the time. Right. And it was it was probably one of the stupidest ways that an offense got themselves beat. Kentucky's defense is talented, but all they literally did is they just sat back in zone and they rushed 4 and 5 the entire game. There was nowhere for Jackson Dart to go with the football. He was completely hung out to dry. I think that they're going to try and run the ball. I think they're going to have a completely different approach. And I also think with the defensive line talent that Ole Miss has going up against what's been a weak O-line for South Carolina, statistically, they're one of the worst in the country. They're going to be able to get home. They're going to win a close game.
I don't want to interrupt this. However, breaking 2025 quarterback Deuce Knight has focused from Notre Dame to Auburn.
I knew that was going to happen. I heard that was going to happen earlier today.
We'll get to that in just a moment. I just wanted to let you know. All right. I am also very quickly. I'm also going with Ole Miss here. However, I am terrified for them in this game. I still don't think people realize how physical that South Carolina game is. Give me Ole Miss to win. If I did pick this game like point spread, give me South Carolina to cover at that 9 or 8.5 on Bet Online. Texas A&M versus Missouri. I'm going with A&M. You're going with Mizzou.
Big separation point for me in this game. I think that with how good Missouri's defensive line and just defense in general has been, they statistically have been one of the best in the country. They've had a couple tests, not like real hard tests, but like BC, Vandy. They've got a couple opportunities to be challenged, and their defense has still played really good. I think that they're going to slow down Marcel Reed and Le'Veon Moss. I think they're going to bottle up that rushing attack. They're going to be able to win this football game. Another game that I think is going to be super freaking close. But I got to go with Missouri. I'm riding the last little drop of preseason hype that I had for them that I think is going to come to fruition in this game.
I think they're going to get out physical when it's all said and done. I really do. Joe, this is what I think about this A&M team, man. Look, I know that they had a blunder against Bowling Green. Look what they did to Taylor Green last week in Jackson.
Well, wait.
Hold on. You cannot tell me that Brady Cook, Joe, they've been running the football with him.
Yes.
That's the majority of their offense. Unless they're going to change something and open it wide open.
But it's not like Taylor Green was completing 80-70% of his passes and suddenly Texas A&M forced him to have a bad game. He's been playing bad up until this point.
Yeah, but their passing game hasn't been,
Okay. I see what you're saying. No, I think this is a coin flip. I really do think this game's a coin flip.
I do too.
Did you know, by the way, that this was a really funny story today. Marcel Reed's
sisters at Mizzou.
Like one of the recruiting coordinators or something like that. And so Eli Drinkwitz is not allowing her to attend practice for the rest of the week after that he found this out. I think that's hilarious. I love that.
I also saw that he said that he's fully expecting him to start over Connor Wegman, which I think is the bigger thing here, man. Yeah. I really do. Mm-hmm. All right. Oregon, Michigan State, both of us going with the Ducks here, and Ohio State and Iowa, we're both going with Ohio State here, Joe.
Yeah, not much of a debate in these games. They were when we titled it, this team's going to get blown out. The Michigan State game, wouldn't be shocked if that ends up being close if Oregon plays a little sloppy and a little slow to get out of the gate. But both these teams, this is the warm-up game before the big challenge next week I think they're going to be locked in. I think they're both going to win pretty easily.
I also agree with everything you just said there. Miami versus Cal. We're both picking Miami, but man, I'm just going to tell you, I don't like them traveling like that neither.
One of my betting picks this week that I gave on VSiN, I really think that Cal is going to cover 10.5. I think that they cover. I think this game is going to be really close. Miami is going to be one of those teams that keeps things close with teams that they're not supposed to, and they're going to be total heart attack team. But luck is on their side, so I think that they win no matter what.
Joe, these picks feel too easy, man, and this sport does not let you do this. Right. There's going to be an upset in here. I don't know who it is. Maybe, and we'll probably have some of these games wrong. One of these teams that we have in here is going to get beat that has no business getting beat. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know who it is, but it's going to happen. But I agree with you on Miami. Tennessee versus Arkansas, both of us going with the Vols.
I know that you want to give – I think I spelled Tennessee wrong, by the way.
You did.
I know that you were trying to give Arkansas a little bit of life. I found it very funny in the comments of that preview. There were Arkansas fans that even went out of their way to say, please stop talking about us. We stink. And I thought that was very funny in the grand scheme of things for how much we yelled at each other last night when we taped that. But to just come back down to this, I got to stick with Tennessee. I think that they've got so much momentum right now. I think they're going to win this by 10 plus points.
I agree with you. And because how the comments went off the way that they did, Joe, I'm just going to tell you, Tennessee fans understand where I was coming from. That's why they were in the chat saying what they were saying.
Yeah, you're coming. You love to come for a good argument. That's
no. I think Tennessee fans need to see like they did with Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
I think the hold up for everybody from a Vol fan perspective is, have we really played anybody that can test us at all? Right? Like, I mean, look, our Oklahoma really couldn't. NC State really couldn't. And I think that's why, Joe, that they're just like, hold up. Let's make sure that we can go in Arkansas. Joe, I'm going to tell you this. Arkansas is unloading the clip this week. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm telling you from people I've talked to, they're unloading the clip. And
that's fair.
Here comes Bobby Petrino. Like, you're going to see some shit that you're like, why in the hell are they doing this? I'm just listen to your boy on this one. I'm not guessing. All right. Let's get to some of the rest of these. Georgia at Auburn, even though Auburn just got a big time flip, doesn't matter. They're still going to lose.
Yeah. There's no real analysis needed. Georgia's the much better football team. Auburn turns the ball over a shit ton. Bingo, bongo, give me Georgia. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Joe, I think this is going to get ugly. I think it's going to get really ugly.
They're going to win. They're going to win by 60 points.
Give me Georgia to win. And if I were going to do this, give me Georgia to cover. All right. Rutgers and Nebraska, both of us going with the Pisons.
Rutgers, I wanted you to pick Nebraska, damn it, so that I got something to be mad at you about. What the hell? Don't get on the Rutgers train all of a sudden, Blake. This is some BS. I've been on them since last year, since week 1 of last year. Coach Schiano, damn it.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Jers. I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, so you're a homer.
No. Rutgers has been terrible my entire lifetime. And
they're really tough.
Yeah.
And I think the blueprint's out on Raiola at the current moment. And I think that Rutgers can execute it.
I don't totally agree with that part. I think that Raiola could win in this football game and will them back if it gets to a certain point. But what has proven for Rutgers is the toughness, the run game, just grinding things out, all of those things.
Grind on me.
Not what I said. Not what I said. They play true to Big Ten football. They've got an experienced big offensive line. They're downhill. I think that they're going to play time of possession battle here and they're going to win it. Manon guy all the way, 100 yards.
Serious question because of their schedule. Is Rutgers a playoff contender?
Dude, they dead ass might be. Like, we seriously, in all seriousness, if they beat Nebraska this week, we're going to have to start talking about them because they don't play Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, or Penn State. If they beat Nebraska, they're going 10-2.
There's a strong possibility that they're going to sneak up on some people the next couple of weeks if they take care of business this week. I think they do.
There's no sneaking up on people. They're going to be favored after that point.
National fans are not talking about Rutgers like that.
I see what you mean. They're going to just pop out on people.
Shit, Rutgers is 6-0. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right. Georgia Tech and Duke, both of us going with the Yellow Jackets here, Joe. Why? And Duke is also undefeated.
Yeah, Duke's kind of an arbitrary undefeated. You know,
they just keep finding ways to win. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, but like they haven't really played many tough opponents. You know, they beat up on a UNC.
Duke. Ride that Blue Devil wave, baby.
Look, credit to Manny Diaz. I think it's very commendable, and they're playing true to what we would expect. They're running the football really well, and their defense has been phenomenal. But this is probably a little bit of a reality check going against a more established team.
Very true. Very, very, very true. UCF going to Florida. I knew the game, but I thought that was the last one that we had here. Both of us going with the Gators. Brother, I don't trust this one at all.
I disagree. I think that we'll talk about a big separation point. Here's what I'll agree with what you were saying earlier. The Big 12, outside of two teams, Kansas State and Utah, that are like at least going to be able to be competitive in if they play teams from other conferences. It's right now it's a glorified G5 conference. Like it is, they are not physical enough up front on both lines of scrimmage. They couldn't outmuscle Colorado last week. Like that was where they were supposed to win, was supposed to being more physical up front, and they looked soft. It needs to be said that in a situation like this, even though Florida is collapsing, they're an SEC roster. They're going to win this game.
Dude.
UCF's not good, man.
You said makes 100% logic and is probably factual.
But Billy Napier is going to make me look like a dumbass.
However, I don't trust that man.
Yeah, that's probably
if
true.
you get a buzz cut and you don't get a line, like you don't get somebody to line you up, I don't trust you. It's like the Matt Campbell hat thing.
Yeah, you find the weirdest things to hate on these guys.
I'm just saying, Billy Napier, brother, here's the truth too. Mississippi State's not an SEC roster right now after what's happened to them. And Joe, they were going literal blow for blow with Mississippi State 2 weeks ago.
But they still separated from them and beat them up pretty badly.
Separating them. Oh, so they got a late score touchdown. They were literally with, like, I think it was 2 minutes left. They were down. Mississippi State was down by 7.
The final score of that game was 45-28.
Okay, I thought it was 40.
They beat them. They beat them pretty badly. It was. I mean, at halftime, it was 28-14 at half.
Well, here came Mississippi State, came all the way back. All right. Just saying. All right.